Well, hello everyone, and welcome to vlog number 20 of the life and adventures of Captain Larry and Kibo. Kibo's got his own little shorts going now because he doesn't get a lot of FaceTime in the videos lately. But anyway, good to hear from you. I got lots of cool questions and stuff. Um, anyway, we're inside today because it's really hot outside, and during the day, the sun really beats on it half the day on my stern, and then at night I got shade. Anyway, so my friends, my family, my fellow musicians, my fellow boaters, my fellow dog lovers, um, my fellow artists, and most importantly, I forgot to always say, and my fellow veterans. I'm a life member of the Disabled American Veterans, DAV, and I do make lots of donations, which I'll talk about in a little while, for veterans and other good causes as well, like children's hospitals, etc. So I want to do a shout out to my friend Bernadette. She's always putting posts. I go back over 30 years with Bernadette. It's like a sister to me, and her husband and the family, like another family to me as well. I miss you guys too. She taught Hatha Yoga at my martial arts studio. I taught martial arts and Tai Chi for 45 years, and she would come to the dojo and do her yoga classes, which I got to take too, and she was an excellent teacher. And then my friend Nancy Wilson would come and do polarity therapy. And then we all did Reiki and energy healing. It was really great. It was called Holistic Health Associates in North Smithfield and Center for Natural Healing and Martial Arts Education. It was cool. I want to start today with, I finished this painting. This painting is titled, Gotta Get a Bigger Boat. Now I changed it because I got some critique done, and I changed a lot of it, the boats in the back, but it's, as you can see, and it's going to be going on my website in a few days or maybe this week, LawrenceO'LearyJR.com. And it's a guy in a little boat, and then as you go out, there's a bigger boat, and then a bigger boat. And that's why I titled it, Gotta Get a Bigger Boat. And that's one thing about boating is when you have a boat, you always want a bigger boat. I started with a 12-foot dinghy when I was younger, and then I went to a 20-foot Stingray, 21-foot Stingray, and then 38-foot Sailmaster I was a first mate on. Anyway, cool stories for another time. So I want to give a shout out, Nathan from England. Thank you for watching my blogs and enjoying them. That means a lot to me because I'm pretty isolated here. I really get a lot of excitement out of socially using this blog, which I never did in my life. So this is blog number 20. Nathan wanted to know about life. He says it looks so comfortable and so relaxing on your boat, and it absolutely is most of the time. Boating is not for everybody. I have my son gets motion sickness, so even if it's a little rocking, it bothers him. But most true boaters really like that gentle rocking. It's very relaxing. You have to be ready for weather. Weather can really take a bad turn on you, and it can happen instantly. And you don't really have any place to go if you're living on a boat. You've got to battle it out. In the winter, I lived in several years up north, and I had 18 inches of ice around my boat at one time. But we put what's called ice eaters under the boat. Some people call them bubblers, and they agitate the water so that nothing freezes around your boat, because if water freezes around a boat, you'll crack your hull and sink. So you don't have that problem down south. It gets really hot down here and humid, and that's one of the toughest things about being here. And we're approaching hurricane season, and according to the Farmer's Almanac, in Georgia now, this was supposed to have the worst hurricane season that they've had in 50 years. If that is the case, I'm as far in up a river as I can. I can probably go another 10 miles up the river if that happens. tornado hit down here about 10 miles away. It wiped out Bryant County, Georgia. It wiped out a whole town and a school. And my granddaughter and my great-grandchildren in Kansas got hit, and it wiped out my great-granddaughter's elementary school and the YMCA across the street, and it really did some really bad damage. I lived in Kansas in the early 70s, and that happens over there. So this has been my social life since the pandemic hit. Another reason that I'm not traveling a lot right now is the outrageous fuel prices. I probably use 1 gallon to 2 gallons of diesel fuel for every mile I go, so it's not the greatest time to go travel anywhere, especially when you're on a fixed income. I always say God rocks me to sleep at night. Kibo loves the boat, especially the dinghy. I have a big crane on the bow of my boat. Oh yes, flies, down there, flies and bugs. Another reason that I'm inside today. There's no wind, so the gnats are crazy. Anyway, there's a crane on the bow of my boat, and I've got a 12-foot dinghy, and I pick it up and put it in the water. It's got a motor on it. It's got a 50-foot line, so I take it to the back of the boat, and when I do, he's just howling and howling. He gets so excited. He walks around the gunnels like you've seen in some of the other past videos. He's got his sea legs. He doesn't know anything other than boating life. For the most part, it's very tranquil, it's quiet, but it all depends on where you're at as well. I mean, I'm not a party wild guy, so, you know, I don't want to be where there's a whole bunch of parties going on. Don't get me wrong, we had a dock party a few weeks ago. We all social distanced, but, and those are fun, but when you've got them going on 3-4 nights a week, it's, you don't get any sleep. But one time I was docked where there was a nightclub, and the music didn't stop until 2 o'clock in the morning, and then sometimes you'd find people passed out on the back of your boat because they just walked down and fell asleep there. You have to read the weather really carefully. One of the most prominent things, and you can use this anywhere, if the wind changes direction 3 times in 15 minutes, you got something happening very soon. I got a guitar. I'm a musician. I've played out professionally for many, many years. My brother Ron was a drummer for me once. My friend Mike Bastow was our drummer for years. And now John was our last drummer. John Fusco. All great people. My friend Kim sang with us, and she's writing a new song, and I'm waiting anxiously to hear it. Other thing about being on a boat is just I'm never in a hurry. You know, it's not the destination that gives you the fulfillment, but the journey. I just like the feel, you know, just being out there, and it is pretty special and calming. If you play the weather right, you can pretty much have really good travel days. I got some other notes here, questions. I donate money to the veterans. Tunnels to Towers, 93.23% of all of the donations go to the veterans or to getting them a home or whatnot. I was giving to Wounded Warriors as well, but a friend of mine said, you want to check the percentage of what money goes to the veterans, and Wounded Warriors was 71%, and I was giving money to them for a while. As I mentioned on my website, I give a portion of my sales to a charity every month, and the CEO makes $280,000 a year. The Fisher House Foundation is another veteran support. They get 90%. Freedom Service Dogs of America. Now, I don't know if anybody knew this, but Kibo is a service dog, and he is my service dog, and he's actually saved my life twice. I was in the hospital, he was in there with me, and we won't go into the details about that. I'm doing pretty good now. But I had belonged to a club, and there's going to be a story coming up about this because the Federal Commission on Human Rights found them guilty. I belonged to a club, and I would go in for years, and then it got taken over by a new administration. I won't mention any names right now. And the administrator didn't like me, so refused to allow my service dog into the building. I reported it to the Governor's Office on Disability. They were sanctioned somewhat, and I got massive retaliation. And it will eventually be going to court. The courts have been shut down for years because of the pandemic and backed up. But I will let everyone know, especially my DAV people and my service dog people. Service dogs, people don't realize how much a service dog does for people. And he's not just a pet. He's magnificent. He's one of the most intelligent dogs you'd ever want to meet. He's really, really good. Now, I want to conclude with everybody. Our economy is really bad right now, and more so for the health of the children. Babies now, the baby formula, we've all heard about that. All that other political stuff I don't even want to care about. But when somebody suffers, and a child suffers, that goes to my heart really big. I found this site. I did some research. HHS.gov. HHS.gov. Please share this with all of your friends and anybody who needs baby formula, because they will help you get it. There's also a company, an independently owned company, that makes some of the best baby formula out there, and they're relatively new, but they've got plenty, and I saw it on a news clip the other day. So let's pray for our economy to get back, and that's what happens. Somebody knocks on my door, and I'll take care. All right, and he's a great doorbell. So my friends, my family, my fellow veterans, I love you all, miss you all, and I wish you all a great day.